Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wild. Today we are talking about UberEats update 1025. Recently I got an email from one of my subscribers, Tim Barton. Thank you so much for emailing me about this and making this video possible. And one of the major things he pointed out in his email is that Uber just dropped some major updates that could change the game for couriers, from tip guarantees to better trip info. But as always, what they say and what actually happens can be two different things. So with that said, we are talking about everything that is being said in these emails and from Uber, the updates that they announced recently, what they tell you versus how it actually is, and everything in between. But before we do that, let's go over a quick disclaimer. The content of this video does not contain, is never intended to be, legal, business, financial, tax, or health advice of any kind. This video is for entertainment purposes only. It is advised that you conduct your own research and consult qualified professionals before applying anything you find online. I also want to be clear that everything that we're going to be going over is very market to market and case by case. What applies to me and my market may not apply to you. So with all of that said, let's get started. Hi Joe, I haven't seen you speak about the event held by Uber yet. Did I miss something in the YouTube algorithm, or are you working on a release? Thank you for your videos, as they've helped me get what I want out of Uber, DD, and Grubhub. Well, first of all, Tim, thank you so much for reaching out. It isn't that I didn't have anything to say about it. It is that I have a lot on my plate right now, and big things are coming to Driven Wild. Gone Wild, Wild Realms, and to gig workers everywhere. That is incredibly valuable for the gig economy. And that said, that does mean I need to cut back on how often I post, at least for now, so that way I could work on those things. If you do want to stay in the know on that subject, however, make sure to check out my website as well. But regardless, this has been a subject that I've been meaning to tackle since I was emailed about it, so why don't we start there? This year, we're adding tons of new features across driver and courier experiences. Inspired by your feedback, these features are designed to help make your earning experience easier, safer, and fairer. The definition of fair is so loosely applied by these companies, but it's too early in the email to give them shit about it. Detailed destination information in Trip Planner. We're giving couriers more clarity and confidence on the road, and with more detailed information up front. In the Trip Planner, you'll soon see all pickup and drop-off addresses clearly, so you know exactly where you're going. Okay, this is something that drivers have been asking for a very long time, but my concern is how cluttered the Trip Planner will actually become. For example, if an offer has 2 pickups and 2 drop-offs, some of those addresses are only semi-complete as well, and they already take up a full row ending with ... if it's taking too much room. So will that be clear enough, or will they have to compensate for that somehow? That's yet to be seen. Increased clarity and control on batched deliveries. Deliver multiple orders with ease. Soon couriers will get clearer guidance on important info, like how many orders are headed to the same customer, whether they are multiple pickups at the same restaurant, and more. I think with the former update, this update would have already happened. Like, the entire reason an order was overall unclear was due to the fact that it was stacked. Like, you only saw 1 pickup because that's how the system displayed it. The one thing I would like more clarity on is the "and more" aspect here. Like, they say we will have more control in the headline as they described it. I wonder how much control they will be giving us outside of more information for the control that we already had. Will we be able to jump tasks or minimize real wait times? Will we be able to unassign orders and see how much each order was paying? Honestly, with how DoorDash took these features away or removed certain information so you couldn't do that, that doesn't seem all that likely. Have more certainty in every trip with tip guarantee. With our new tip guarantee feature for couriers, when you see guaranteed on a trip request, the amount you see on the trip is the amount you'll receive after delivery. In cases where there is a change, Uber will cover the difference. Enjoy greater confidence and certainty in every trip. This is something that drivers have been outraging for an extremely long time. And it's about time, because the main reason that Uber gets calls to support is because drivers are tired of the games. Customer tip baits, drivers lose money for the services already rendered. They have to either accept the loss or get on the phone and fight about it. And heck, I've made countless videos on the subject, and every time I feel like this could have been a bunch of more time wasted if I didn't know what I was doing. It made for good content, it helped a lot of drivers, but it didn't make for a healthy environment for work. Now, what I really wanted was transparency, but I guess this is a step in the right direction, at least for now. Safeguards against ratings out of your control. To help you and your hard work, we'll soon be improving our systems to better identify and remove ratings that may be due to circumstances outside of your control. I feel like this is something that every app says, but they rarely do a good enough job with. Here's the thing, they could create these safeguards, but if they aren't given a good enough reason to remove that rating, they can't justify doing so and will just apply it anyway. So what if a customer is lying to get a free meal or doesn't give any reason why they got the rating? It is one thing if they told you why and they told you a reason that was outside of your control, but customers, and especially non or low tipping customers, are constantly looking for the next reason why they deserve a refund or can get credits from Uber. So those safeguards better have multiple layers or drivers are going to end up in the crossfire. Final thoughts. Look, these updates are a step in the right direction, don't get me wrong, if they are executed properly and they follow through with them. But remember, these companies are doing this more for them than for us. There is always some sort of underlying reason. Uber seems to be wanting to cut down on the support calls as well as increase transparency so they don't end up in legal trouble down the line. However, that doesn't change that something else can change in the process. I look forward to seeing how these changes will be applied and the effects that it will inevitably have on the greater gig economy, but I really don't have the highest expectations for obvious reasons. If you guys would also like to email me about something happening in your market, my email is drivenwyld@gmail.com. Feel free to email me there, and who knows, maybe you'll get a shout out in a video as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe. Check out my website, drivenwyld.com, if you would like to learn more about the services and gig platforms that we have talked about in the past and are offering to gig workers today. And if you'd like to stay on the cutting edge of what's happening in the gig economy today and be in the know of what most people are talking about, make sure to check out our new channel, the Gone Wild Live Clips and Podcast, where we take the live streams we hold on Thursdays at 9 p.m., cut them down to more digestible clips, and have them posted there. And check out my Patreon for more exclusive clips, full-length live stream replays, and other membership perks for self-employed individuals who want to grow and scale their business. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.